Here's my first impressions of the M12 Fuel oscillating multi-tool. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. Well, it's time for another Tools and Tech Tuesday, and we have a quick video today because I have a lot going on right now, but I wanted to give you guys my first impression. I've used this thing, and I think it's pretty cool, so let's get to it. This is one of 4 versions, I believe, that Milwaukee has now. They have both a fuel and non-fuel version of both the M12 and the M18 versions of this tool. Now there are some differences. We'll go over that in just a minute, but I wanted to give you my first impressions on this thing. From what people were saying in all the reviews in both the M12 and the M18 platform, the fuel version in both cases is way better. That's not to say that you can't get work done with the old ones, but the fuel ones are newer, better technology, they cut faster, and they have better dampening in all the vibration. Because if you've ever used one of these, you'll know that it's going to vibrate your hand a lot. This one, they've managed to cut that down quite a bit. So at this point, I've only got a few battery platforms and I didn't want to have to buy into another. So really for me, it came down to either the M12 or M18 platform from Milwaukee, or the DeWalt 20 volt max, or the Ryobi 18 volt 1 Plus system. After seeing reviews and watching head-to-head videos, I narrowed it down to Milwaukee. The only trouble was I didn't know if I wanted to get the M12 fuel or the M18 fuel. In both cases, they say that the fuel version is stronger and has less vibration. The benefit of the M12 is that it can fit into tighter spaces. The benefit of the M18 is that it's a little bit stronger. It has more than one LED. This only has one LED on the front, and it has an auto speed, so as soon as you start going through your material, it'll sense when it needs to add more power. This is my old brushed version from Ryobi, and I can tell you after using this for just a couple days that this is way better. Granted that the Ryobi is 8 years old, so you would expect that the technology has improved significantly, which it has. I heard great things about the new HP version from Ryobi, but I'll show you why I didn't want that one. With the M12, if you're on a counter or the floor, or let's say on a wall, you can cut flush. With the Ryobi, the battery compartment sticks out, so it's going to be a lot harder to get that same angle. And you'll see in the project that I did why I needed that. Alrighty, let me show you the first project that I used this thing for.
We are going to use this M12 multi-tool as a jam saw. So I put a piece of scrap here. And what we're going to do is put that up against there so we know how high we need to cut. So we're just going to lay the blade on there. We're just going to cut that out so these tiles can go underneath there. So that way we don't have to cut all the way around all those different angles and lines.
All right, now we're going to cut the other side. So you can see what we did here is we cut out these little scrap pieces from under here. So that way, the flooring can slide under there. Okay, real quick, I just wanted to show you guys another way these things are really useful. So I was using the Ryobi speed saw to cut out curves, and it works great for that. But it's hard to get a good straight cut with this. With this, you can draw a line, and you can flip on the switch. I will tell you that you want to use a straight edge of some kind. I was using a metal straight edge, but you put it up against your straight edge on your line, turn on the switch. If you don't use a straight edge, it has a tendency to want to walk. Also, you might damage whatever surface you might want to put down some type of sacrificial piece to protect your bench or floor or whatever you're cutting on. Overall, this thing was really effective. It cut really well, even on a medium speed. This has a variable speed knob nearly as much as my old one, and it will oscillate faster or slower based on whatever speed you have it set to. So improvements that I think Milwaukee could make on this thing. Well, first of all, I think they could improve a little bit on the blade change. I mean, it's not bad at all. Don't get me wrong. It's better than having the tool like my old one. You flip this up, unscrew this, pop your old blade out, pop your new one in, and there are magnets to hold it in place. So you get it right in place, tighten this down hand tight, flip this down. You can also put the blade on in different directions to make it easier to reach whatever you have to cut. The other thing I think I would prefer is a variable speed trigger like this. Whereas this one, you flip the switch, and in order to control the speed, you turn the knob. I would definitely say that that's a very small issue. That's nitpicking on my part. Overall, so far I'm really loving this thing. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Here's my first impressions on the M12 Here's my first From what people were saying in all the reviews, the fuel version of the M12 Animate is that it can fit into tighter spaces. Overall, this thing was really effective. It cut really well, even on just a medium speed, and it